What is going on, guys? My name is Alex, Mr. Snitchy, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the M1909 Benet-Mercie, the Storm, the Optical, and the Telescopic variants. And after that we're going to compare this gun, the Storm variant, to the factory or the low weight version of the Lewis gun. If you guys like it, subscribe, thumbs up, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the video. So first up we have the Benet-Mercie Storm variant. This weapon does 21 damage out to 20 meters, has a very steep drop off, so when you hit 25 meters you're doing your minimum damage of 19. Factoring in all this, that means you're getting a 5-shot kill out to about 22 meters, and if you're hitting 23 meters and above you're going to need 6 shots to kill. This weapon is a chugger. It's got the slowest fire rate in the entire class at just 450 rounds a minute. The muzzle velocity on this weapon is middle of the pack for the class at about 820 meters a second. The reload on this weapon is actually not too bad. If you have any number of bullets left in the magazine, it's going to be 2.6 second reload, and if you have a completely empty weapon, it's going to be about 3.9 seconds. So, like I said in the last video, always try to go for a reload with at least one bullet left in the magazine, just due to the fact that you're going to be saving about a second of total reload time. The recoil on this weapon is actually not too bad. It's a .196 up and a .105 left and right with a first shot recoil multiplier of 1.25. The ADS on this weapon is not bad. It is a 21 millisecond not moving and a 79 millisecond if you are moving. Now, due to this being an LMG, once again, it does have that negative spread increase of 0.12 per bullet that is fired in a burst. So if you're in close quarters combat, it might just be a better option to hip fire and let that hip fire come down naturally than going to try to ADS, just so you can save some time. The irons of this weapon are actually completely usable, as well as the A sight, so it's really up to you about which sight you want to use. I know during the beta, I used the iron sight just because the A sight wasn't available, and it didn't change from now until the beta. However, I like my A sight better, so that's what I use. It's totally up to you guys. I really don't give a good recommendation. You can do whatever you want. So let's move over to the optical variant next. So there really hasn't been much change to the Benet-Mercie optical variant except for a couple things. Number one, you have a lens sight on there. You guys know how I feel about the lens sight. I'll just move on. The recoil has been increased by about 70% for this variant, so it is a .28 up and a .15 left and right. Also, the ADS has been reduced just a tad, so if you're not moving, it's 15 milliseconds, and if you are moving, it's about 59 milliseconds. But other than that, the gun still has every single stat the same as the original Storm. So let's move on to the telescopic variant. So for the telescopic variant, there isn't really too much change. Change one obviously is you get a nice telescopic sight. I mean, I like this better than the lens sight. I don't know why, I just do. However, the stats are exactly the same from the optical and the Storm, except for two things. Change one, it still keeps that 70% increased recoil like the optical variant. However, the ADS on non-moving is actually reduced, so it's 14 milliseconds. However, the moving ADS is the same as the Storm variant at 79 milliseconds. The other change to this weapon is that it has a bipod, or a tripod on this weapon. So you can lay down and actually deploy it on a surface or on the ground, and you receive major recoil decrease. The other two, however, just have foregrips, so they can't really benefit from it. But my thoughts on this weapon overall, all three variants are actually pretty good. I know it does have a little bit of a problem with the rate of fire, but I still find it usable even in close quarters engagement just because it hits so freaking hard. My recommendation for a variant you can use is the Storm, and if you're on a bigger map like I am out on Sinai, pull out a telescopic and go for those counter snipes, or go for those rooftop to rooftop near the C and the D flags. Well, next what we're going to do is we're going to do a comparison between the Lewis gun and the Benet-Mercie. So when we compare the Benet-Mercie and the Lewis gun, first thing you'll notice is that they do the same max damage. However, the Benet also has minimum damage by about 4 more points from 19, compared to the Lewis gun's 15. However, the Lewis gun does win in rate of fire at a 480 to the Benet's 450, and the magazine size goes to the Lewis gun again at 47 instead of 30. However, the Benet does win in muzzle velocity from an 820 on the Lewis gun, 740. So really you could pick, if you just went off of those stats, it's a toss-up. But the one thing that really does it for me would be, first of all, the reload speed. The reload speed on the Benet is a lot faster, almost a second faster in their empty, and about a fourth of a second in a half reload or a bullet in the magazine reload. However, the recoil on the Benet is just a lot better. The first shot recoil multiplier is a lot better. The ADS is the same, so I mean, in my opinion, I'm gonna go with the Benet 100% of the time, just because I'm gonna either get a 5-shot kill or a 6-shot kill. I'm not gonna either do a 5, 6, or 7-shot kill like the Lewis gun. So, in my opinion, winner Benet-Mercie every single day of the week. And like I said at the beginning of the video, like, subscribe to all that fun stuff. And you guys remember, snitches get stitches.